All right, so what's up, everybody? Question of the day, man, is Canelo on the decline? Well, let's talk about it. In my personal opinion, I think Canelo's been on a decline. His last couple of fights, he hasn't looked not too impressive, you know. He obviously lost to Bebo, and then after that, he went into that Triple G fight. He fought an old Triple G, where everybody was thinking Canelo was gonna stop him. Me too, man. I was thinking Canelo was gonna run through him, stop him, knock him out. And hell no, man. Canelo looked really bad in that fight. Then after that, it was after that fight where he came out with the excuse that he had a messed up hand, and he had a fair excuse. He did have a messed up hand. He got the surgery on his hand, and he was saying that he was gonna come back, and you guys were gonna see the same Canelo as before. And obviously, he just fought John Ryder. And that's when the talk really started happening. Like, yo, like Canelo, he ain't look nothing. Well, everybody was saying that he looked bad against John Ryder. I don't think so. I think he gave an all right performance, considering everything. The layoff and then the hand surgery. He gave an all right performance. But I just think Ryder showed hella heart, man. That fight, you got to give Ryder his respect, man. He got his nose broken in the second round. He still came out. He got dropped. He got back up, finished the fight with a broken nose, man, blood gushing everywhere. Give Ryder his respect, man. And I just think everybody was expecting Canelo to stop him. Me too, man. I was expecting Canelo to stop him, and he didn't. And that's when the talk really started, like what's going on with Canelo. I have two theories on what I think is going on with Canelo, man. Why he's gassing out in his fights, why he's looking tired. In the Ryder fight, he was looking tired in the later rounds and shit. And Ryder started trending it up a little bit. Yeah, one of the things that I think that could be happening with Canelo is that he's just gotten too comfortable, man. He's got too much money. He probably doesn't want to train, or he's not putting the same effort in his training camps as before. He wants to enjoy his life. He's golfing and all that, and you see videos of him drinking and shit, drunk as hell, partying and all that. And I'm not saying Canelo can't enjoy his life and do do those kind of things, but when you're supposed to be the face of boxing and you're boxing at that level, come on, man, you got to have a little bit more discipline than that, man. You can't be out there doing that shit. And I think that's one of the things that might be happening with him. He's too comfortable. He's just trying to enjoy his life, and I don't blame him, man. All that money and shit, you're going to want to enjoy life, man. His whole life, he's worked towards that goal. And, imagine just working your whole life. Boxing is a hell of a sport, man. It takes a toll on you. I don't blame him at all for wanting to enjoy his life now. So that's theory number one. Theory number two is that, it's no secret. Canelo's tested positive for banned substances in the past, And do I think that he was on some shit, or he is on some shit or whatever? I definitely do, man. You look at Canelo and he doesn't look nothing natural. He's got that big jaw, the big head and everything, the big build. This is boxing. This ain't bodybuilding or nothing like that. And Canelo looks like a damn bodybuilder, And when you're training, when you're training boxing exercises, that shit don't pack on muscle like that, man. So that's why I think Canelo, you asked me if he was on some shit at one point. Yeah, he definitely was. So another thing that could be happening is that, he got caught. He probably had to start winging off of that shit, and it affected him, man. When you make gains using those kind of substances, man, you got to stay on that shit to be able to perform with those gains that you made, man. So if you start winging off of it, your body's not going to perform the same. Even if you keep the gains, if you keep the muscle and all that, your body is still not going to perform the same. It's going to drain a lot faster. So that's another thing that I think that could be going on with Canelo. Canelo, he's had a good career. Is he the greatest Mexican boxer of all time? In my opinion, absolutely not. I don't think he is. I don't think he ever fought the top level opposition to prove himself. He's had like a cherry-picked career, in my opinion. He's a great fighter, don't get me wrong. He's not just a good fighter, he's a great fighter. But I just think they doubted him. I think he could have beat a lot of those guys in his prime. I think he could have beat a lot of those guys that he should have fought, but he didn't. But, they played it too safe, and that's why a lot of real Mexican fans, they don't really respect Canelo like that for that same reason, But yeah, I think he's coming close to the end of his career. You know, he'll probably start racking up a couple losses pretty soon. And, you know, if he were to start fighting the top level opposition like a David Benavidez or Morrell, Andrade, you know, I don't think he's going to look too good against those guys, man. You know, a David Benavidez would definitely, in my opinion, he'll stop Canelo, man. I don't think, and the thing is that Canelo's put himself in a tricky situation now, man. He's put himself in a tricky spot because who else is he gonna fight? He can't keep fighting these lower level fighters, man. He's gonna have to take on these challenges, man. And the way he's been looking his last fights, it's gonna be real hard for him to beat a David Benavidez or Morrell. You know, Morrell's looking really, really good too. You know, and I think he should have fought those guys earlier on in his career where he had more of a chance to win. You know, but it is what it is, man. All good things come to an end, and you know, Canelo's getting older. He's not even that old. I think he's like 33, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I think he's put himself in a tricky spot now when he eventually is gonna have to fight those guys. I think he's gonna start racking up some losses, and you know, but yeah, those are my thoughts on Canelo, man. Those are my thoughts on what's going on with him, and is he in a decline? In my opinion, yeah, he definitely is, man. But it happens to every great boxer, you know. But leave it down in the comment section, man. Let me know what you guys think. Is Canelo declining, or is he just going through a bad phase in his career? Let me know what you guys think, man. Those are my thoughts on it. You know, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, show some love, and you know, I'll be on to the next one.